I just think a culmination of playing 7 games in 11 days against whether the Dodgers, believe it or not, a real arch rival. And the Padres are wanting to be the Dodgers. They're wanting to be the Dodgers. They want to be the king in the National League West. And they're frustrated. And things bowled over last night. And we're going to get into that. But a good win by the Padres last night. They almost let that thing get away in the bottom of the ninth. Holy Toledo! They hung on 5-3, striking out Dalton Rushing to end the ball game. Man, I was holding my breath. Could you imagine the Padres would have lost that game last night? I mean, man, you talk about a long bus ride down the 5 freeway to San Diego to get ready for this weekend series against Kansas City. But nonetheless, they won. Um, and we're going to talk about a great effort that got really overshadowed last night by what took place in the ninth inning. But Ryan Bergert, the rookie, I thought threw a hell of a game. From a baseball standpoint, I would have loved to seen Ryan Bergert have an opportunity to get Ohtani out to qualify for the win. But Mike Schilt went a different direction. He brought in Adrian Morejon. He got Ohtani on a check swing. And by the way, Ohtani had just a miserable series swinging the bat. Padres did a great job. In fact, they've done a great job in both series. Ohtani and Betts and Freeman really haven't hurt the Padres at all in the games right now. And 7 games, and they got 6 to go. And I'm going to give you the dates for those games a little bit later on in the program today. But I want your questions to come in. But good job by Mike Schilt bringing in Morejon, gets Ohtani on a little check swing back to the mound to get out of the 5th inning. Adrian threw the ball well last night. Jeremiah Estrada didn't give up anything, not throwing the ball well, falling behind in counts. Jason Adam came in, did a nice job, gave up a hit but struck out the side. Suarez comes in, 3-0 pitch, hits Ohtani, gets ejected, may get suspended for that. Brian Esposito, the bench coach who took over for Schilt when he was ejected, he got tossed last night. But Berger did a great job. And then the other guy, and maybe he's going to get going now. Xander Bogaerts last night, a 4-for-4 night. He had a walk, hit his 4th homer of the year. Also had his 14th double, scored 3 runs last night. Of course, he had that RBI double and the Padres comeback attempt the night before. Good to see Xander do well. Good to see him do well. But, let's get to last night. Okay, the bench is empty in the top of the ninth when Fernando's hit by the rookie right-hander Jack Little, who was making his major league debut. Now Little came in the 8th inning, and he gave up 2 runs, and he's struggling out there, and he knows he's probably getting sent back before tonight's game to Oklahoma City. He's out there trying to, get major league hitters out. He hit Fernando with a fastball. I didn't think a whole lot, but everything that's gone on in the series, that just reached the boiling point. And if you looked at Little after he hit Fernando, not in body language, but just the facial expression, he looked like somebody stole his dog. I mean, he looked devastated. And he's just standing on the mound like a man without a country. I mean, he looked just, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And then, Mike Schilt comes out yelling and screaming, and he goes towards the plate, and then he's yelling at Dave Roberts, who's in the Dodger dugout, and Schilt walks towards the Dodger dugout. Dave comes out, got his arms in his jacket, and makes contact with Mike Schilt with his forearm in his chest, and it was on. And, I don't know, both those guys may get ejected. I mean, really, when you look at it, by Schilt going onto the Dodger side, that instigated it. And Dave Roberts is not going to sit in the Dodger dugout and listen to the other manager yelling at him. Dave said, I took it personal. If you watch the press conference, and I watched both managers last night in their press conference, and Dave said, hey, I took it personal. I just wanted to get through the game. I had a young guy out there trying to throw 2 innings. I'd already taken out a bunch of my starters, and I just wanted to get out of the game. And so, he comes out and not going to take any crap from Schilt, and Schilt not going to take any crap from Dave. And they go at it. And the bench is empty. The bullpens come in. And like I said, it became a pillow fight. A lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of jaw jacking, but that was really about it. Okay, Fernando gets up, comes out of the game, and then the next half inning, Suarez comes in, and hits Otani on a 3-0 pitch, and he hit him pretty high, hit him up in the shoulder area, hit him pretty high. And Otani just waves off his dugout, said, "Hey, don't come out. We knew this was going to happen, basically." So, I want your reaction to that. What happened last night? I think if Schilt just goes out to the plate and checks on Tatis and doesn't bark at the Dodger dugout, nothing happens. That's what I think. I mean, the Dodgers normally, they're pretty. They root for their own guys. Just I don't know. They don't react a whole lot. I saw Machado's comments. Machado goes, the Dodgers better hope that Fernando's X-rays come back okay. Well, I haven't heard anything from the Dodger players. I never hear anything from the Dodger players really about what went on. And maybe you did. I didn't. And I stayed up late last night to see what was going on. I watched Mookie Betts in an interview after the game last night. And, he was like 1 for whatever in the series. He had a miserable series, not playing very well. Shortstop, he's playing great, but offensively, he's not had a good year and had a terrible series. In fact, he's had 2 terrible series against the Padres. But, Machado, I will tell you this. Machado better be careful or he may get a rib ball next time the Padres Dodgers play. Because the LA fans, man, they can't stand Machado. We know that. And I hope Fernando's okay. And Fernando, he didn't have a great series either. A lot of the big name guys did not have great series in either the series in San Diego or in LA. But I really think Schilt became the instigator last night when he came out and rather than just staying at the plate, checking on his player and walking him up the line or walking him to the dugout. Once he started engaging with the Dodger dugout and yelling specifically at Dave Roberts is not going to take that. Okay, there's no manager that's going to take that. I don't care if it's Dave Roberts or Torey Lovello or whoever. They're not going to take that from another manager. So, you can take whatever side you want. I'm just telling you from a coaching perspective, managerial perspective, if I come out and I start barking at that other dugout, I expect some retribution to where they're going to come out and call BS on me. It's just a simple fact of the matter. And I would expect the same thing to happen if Dave Roberts came out in a situation and checked on his player and started barking at the Padre dugout. I would expect Schilt to come out and I'd expect the benches to empty in that area. So again, I'm telling you right now, from a baseball perspective, that's what I saw last night. Now we're going to go through who got hit and was it intentional or unintentional. And then we're going to get to your opinions on this.